Okay, so as I said, I'm going to be talking about social justice in regards to a society. When my dear sister Rukaya Sabo Humaira contacted me that they are doing a program, they are doing a TEDx, and they want me to come and be a speaker, and I have to be honest, I was reluctant at first. I was adamant. I was like, no, there is no way I'm coming to do a TEDx because as a struggling youth myself, there is no way I'm going to encourage anybody. Uh, Something now told me that okay, just your little stories that you have, what you have encountered, try and come and share with somebody. At least maybe someone can impact, and even if you don't impact, give me the permission to buy you an energy drink so that when you go out here, you have so much energy. So when you talk on social justice has been like an ideology that you have a free society where everyone is able to achieve what they are capable of doing, regardless of their age, regardless of their gender, regardless of their sexual orientation, regardless of whether his dad has money or he doesn't. So that's just literally social justice. And social injustice comes in where actions are being done that infringe people's rights. And you can take, for example, where a small group of people, where they have power and authority and the wealth, they decide on a larger group of people. So you can see how there is going to be a great amount of marginalization to that larger number of people because they don't have the representation, they don't have the people in there. So as long as there is unfair treatment to anybody in a society, that's where you bring in and say, okay, there is social injustice. And I think a society should be very free, where a child that is born today will be able to dream and say, okay, one day I'm going to be able to give a TEDx show. One day I'm going to be an engineer. One day I'm going to be a lawyer. One day I'm going to do something different with my life. Not just to be concise to what the society gives them. We are in a society now where you see, because of the limited amount of resources, people end up doing what they don't want to do. That's where you end up, we have failed productivity in the workplace. You find out that someone in a working place really doesn't have the passion for that job, but because of what society has limited him to do, that's the job he's doing. You end up maybe every day before he goes to work, he goes with a bunch of hisses. He doesn't want to go to the job. He doesn't even bath. He just goes in recklessly because he doesn't want the job. That's social injustice. And social injustice issues rise on issues that border on age, religion, gender, and social discriminatory acts. So when you talk on social justice, you have to talk on four tenets of social justice, which are access, participation, equity, and rights. These four things cannot go without talking on social justice. When you talk of access, I think everybody has the right to be given access to resources to access what he can do or what he cannot do. When you talk on participation, people should be able to be in the public domain and decide on policies that they can do or they cannot. That's why we were so happy when they promoted Not Too Young to Run. And that was a good platform for the young people to be in government and make policies or be part of the process to make policies that will affect the youth. But unfortunately, that has not been working very well since they put on forms, selling forms for 100 million naira. I don't know who can afford that. So that's participation. And then when you talk on rights, these are rights that have been manifested in our constitution. These are rights that are generally known to the world. Everybody knows them: right to freedom, right to religion, right to be, right to move freely. And these rights they keep on being infringed in the state. You see, we have police brutality everywhere. Even in the United States, we have police brutality, same as Nigeria. People don't know their rights. I was told that people think when you are being charged with an offense or you have been in a police station, you need to pay your bail money. That's not so. It's meant to be free. You are not meant to be withheld for more than 24 hours without being charged to court. And people don't know that. So that's also social injustice right there. And also, I have to talk on equity. When you talk on social justice, equity is quite important. It's a term that is a bit confused with things that are equitable. Things that are equitable are not always, does not mean they are being in equity. These are two different things. When you talk on people need to be equal, people need to be treated equally. That means everybody will be given the same resources that you're going to have. That's the same kind of resources I'm going to have. And that might not really fend for me. Like I might need more resources than her or than he. So we need to be treated in equity. People need to have the specific resources that they need to prosper and have a good outcome with their lives. People need access to education and prosper in life. You end up there are so many jobs that when you go, or sorry, so many places that when you go, you see the people being decided that okay, as long as you don't have the good education, you are not being qualified for this job, and that's a social injustice right there. People turn up to earn and be limited to one place kind of job, and they end up with a shitty salary, and they come in always failing, and it's also a cycle of poverty that is surrounding social injustice. So as long as there is fairness within a society, I think social justice is a proponent to be adhered to. And there are so many school of thought regarding social justice. We have Karl Marx, we have the liberalists, we have the bourgeoisies and the capitalists as well that classify, okay, there's the rich class and then there's the poor class. When you talk on social justice, I think it should be for all. Everybody should be free. Everybody should be able to do what he is doing. And when I was given this topic to talk on social justice, it was very dear to my heart because I've been a victim of social injustice for a while. I'm going to give you a bit of my background. I started with humble beginnings. I went to a secondary school, a boarding house, and I realized I've always been standing out for the common man. I've always been standing out for the one that is being bullied. Among my peers, I always propose that why do you keep on bullying this guy? Why do you need to, harass somebody? Like, just try and let them free. So apart from the pressure of my dad to study law, I also wanted to stand up for the common man. So I went ahead, I studied, I did arts, and I was privileged enough to study in a prestigious university in the United Kingdom. I was in Reading, University of Reading. I studied law, I was trained there. I came back. I had the opportunity to stay there and work, but I said, no, I need to come and start for social justice. I need to come and be a lawyer in Nigeria. I need to come and represent the common man. So I came back, I went to law school, I graduated from law school, I was called to the bar. When I was called to the bar, I sat down, I was like, okay, now you are called to the bar, what difference can you make? I could have gotten, all these white collar jobs. I could have gotten a job, maybe work at a central bank or maybe just somewhere else. But I decided to work in a small law firm where I would be a champion of, yeah, that guy is working for the common man. I wanted to represent people. So I worked with my former boss, Chief Joe Kyari Gadzama SAN, who, by the way, is contesting for NBA president, and the election is currently going on. So if there's any lawyer in the house, you can kindly vote for him. I worked with JK, and throughout working with JK, I was able to represent clients in and outside the courtroom in regards to how they are being treated, maybe at work. I was, because of client privilege information, there's some information I can't say, but I had clients where they were being harassed at their works and they came up to us and, okay, this was what happened. We had clients that were wrongfully dismissed from work, maybe because of their tribe or maybe because of their age. They have not reached retirement, but they'll be like, okay, oh man, it's time to go out. We need younger blood. We need this. We need that. So we had clients that represented. We had pensioners. We represented. One time, I represented a group of pensioners at the Court of Appeal, and we got judgment in favor of the pensioners. It was quite a hectic case, but yeah, we did well. And then after JK, I decided, okay, yeah, I think there is progress here. I need to open my own law firm and be a voice for the youth and be a voice for the common man. So I joined my friends, three of us. We opened a law firm in Abuja. It was called Dala Hill. And before we go anywhere, we noticed that there is a bit of social injustice in regards to our profession. Law is a profession that is being dominated not by the northern part of Nigeria. It's been dominated by the south. I think when you maybe the quiet lawyers that they are big Yoruba names. So we decided, okay, let's have a good law firm that has a northern flavor to it, and we called it Dala Hill. So each where we go, people will be like, Dala Hill, are you guys from Kano? I was like, no, I'm from Misau, I'm from Asia Misau. So we had that northern flavor just to eradicate that social injustice in regards to getting more briefs. And it was quite a difficult task, to be honest, because we suffered a lot getting briefs here and there. Each where we go, they will just be like, okay, these guys are just a bunch of youngins. They just want money to go and buy cars. They just want to do this. But no, we really just wanted to do the work. And we were going parastatals here and there. Today we are here, tomorrow we are here. We are just keep on digging. The social injustice didn't really hinder us. We were just up and about, and we couldn't care less of what people were thinking. We just wanted you to bring us briefs. And on a fateful day, my friend, I was chatting with my friend. He gave me the advice that, okay, you are looking for briefs here and there. There's something up and about. Go and meet your father role model, and that was Dr. Mekantibaru. May his soul rest in peace. I was like, what have I been thinking? Mekanti is just my neighbor in Misau. Like, we were just 2 houses down. I was like, okay, let me just go and meet this guy. Maybe I might be lucky. Maybe my life might change. So I went to Dr. Mekanti's house. I sat there for almost 3-4 hours. I was waiting for him. He didn't come back. So I left a profile of my office, Dala Hill. This is what we do. We're into commercialization. We're into litigation. We're into so many kind of things. So I was like, okay, I left in a note and then I left. The following day, his PA called me. I was like, okay, young man, you have a meeting with the GMD of NNPC at 6 p.m. Wow. So, okay, NNPC is a place that gives out briefs of like $100,000, $150,000, minimum maybe like 15, 20 million. That's what you can get from NNPC. So you can see where my excitement was. I've already started seeing the future. My life has already changed. My meeting with GMD was at 6. I was at NNPC Towers by 1 p.m. I went, I sat down at the office. His secretary was like, young man, your meeting is by 6. I said, no problem. I don't have anywhere to go. I can just stay here. It's fine. I stayed there. I sat down there. The kind of caliber, the kind of people that were coming, they were going up and about in the office. I couldn't just imagine. I couldn't understand how I was in that midst. So I told my partner, I went with my partner. I told my partner, Ibrahim, who's the MD of Nasida Nasra Investment, by the way. I told Ibrahim, Ibrahim, I think there is not social injustice again in this world. How are we here? How do we get here? That means there is no social injustice. Age is nothing. We are just going to get it. It was time for meeting. They called in 2 of us, and we sat down there. I and my partner and GMD. May so rest in peace. We sat down there. It was just life changing. We sat down and we just like, okay, sir, this is what we do. We represent clients in court. We do this, we do that. everything. He was very satisfied. We had a fruitful meeting. Everything was going on well. He was like, there is no way we are not going to assist you guys. If we don't, who is going to assist you guys? He told us to go. We hear from him. We left. Part of the excitement, as soon as my friend left out of the building, part of the excitement, my friend said, you know what, I'm going to host us dinner. Let's go, dinner on me. I was like, okay. We went for dinner. We sat down there, two young guys, we were just thinking about our lives. Ibrahim was already thinking about houses in Metawa, houses in Asokoro, just hammer, boys on hammer. So we're just discussing everything about life, how everything is coming into fruition. In fact, maybe from here, we are just going to change the way, the way everything works. We have lawyers in our office that we were paying very less. So we even told them that, guys, your life has changed. In fact, health insurance, add it, we are going to pay. After 2 weeks, an envelope came in from NNPC Towers. I opened up the envelope. The envelope was about to represent NNPC at the Federal High Court against an NGO in relation to something else. So I flipped the page. I was like, okay, yeah, this is something we can do. We can go ahead. I flipped on the next page. That's where Gongo, that's where money is and everything. I now saw that NNPC is going to pay us 5 million naira. All the smile, all the promises we made, everything just died. So I'm just telling you guys this story to know the kind of social injustice that goes on regarding to age or anything out there in being professional. This was a place that gives out briefs for like so much millions, but why are they giving us that kind of amount? What did we do? Is it that we can't do this job, or what's the main issue? Is it that already there is a label on it that, okay, all young lawyers cannot act on the big case or what? So my friend was calm. He was like, okay, you know what? There is nothing. Yeah, 5 million is still a lot of money, though we had bills to pay. But yeah, 5 million is something. At least let's start something. So we did the case, and we won at the Federal High Court. We won the case for NNPC, and I went to meet, may so rest in peace, Dr. Mekanti. I was like, sir, we have done your case. We were paid chicken change because you are coming from NNPC. But alhamdulillah, thank you very much. We have won the case. Mekanti now opened his mouth and said, that was a test, young man. A real brief is coming. Just wait on it. So I'm just trying to tell you that, even though there is social injustice around us, we just need to be very cautious. We need to be very careful. Like my co-speaker said, we need to be very perseverant. We need to be very patient. Everything is going to come, regardless of the social injustice. Take it aside. Your time has come. You do your own magic, and everything will come into place. And so that was it. That was how we did Dala Hill. But the social injustice is all around us in Nigeria, and everywhere you go, you see social injustice. In fact, when I came here, because of the topic you guys gave me, everything now involves our social injustice. When I came in here, the first social injustice I noticed here, there is no a sliding, for disabled people. So if I was coming on a disabled chair, what will you do now? What will you give me? So you can see that social injustice right from TEDxKangere. So, you just have to take that aside and move on and try to be very positive about life. And we also need to create more awareness and acceptance of people's differences. You never know what someone is going through. You never know what someone is doing. Always try to give them the chance and be very more cautious of how you talk to them. Recently, someone was telling me of how someone died of cancer or something like that. He posted his picture online on social media. He was looking very frail, very old, very sick, and they didn't really know what was going on. They just started mocking him online that, this guy is into poverty now. He doesn't have money. He's not taking care of himself. And the guy died after 1 week. What are you going to tell yourself now? You never know. The guy was apparently going through sickness that was not going to be cured anytime soon. So let's all try and be cautious on the way we talk to people, and let's also respect each other's choices and needs. Because when we do that, we are going to eradicate a lot of discrimination against us, and we are going to promote a very good economic stability. If you are giving energy to somebody, if someone is given the energy to prosper in what he believes in, I think he's going to be very stable for our economy, and he's going to be very productive in his years, and he's going to make a lot more happier environment. So with this, I would like to point out that let's all be aware of social injustice, but let that not deter you from achieving what you want to achieve. Try and always limit your chances. Try and go to places where you are welcome. Where you are not welcome, try and limit yourself and respect other people's privacies and they're doing. Where you are wanted, you already know where you are wanted. You come in and everything will come into place. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've impacted a bit. I've said my own quota, and I always ask this question. When your little sister or when your son tries to ask you, when social injustice or social justice was going on, what were you doing? What were you doing? Or what did you do? What did you contribute? I think it's fair for me to say I've done mine by talking to you guys. So now it's up to you. It's up to you guys to go and talk to somebody else and try and encourage them. So with this, thank you very much for having me.